Hello, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Paolo is back with another conversation on artificial intelligence. Today, the reason why I come on camera is because I have interviewed a very interesting guy, Shaun, who is the CEO of a company by the name of trueface.ai. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the key points of this interview so that you have a chance to maybe, subscribe to the channel or going to watch the interview later on once we publish it. Now, why is this of the interest? It's of the interest because our life and a number of things that we do in our life, like, for example, going to the airport and take a plane, is going to be affected by this new type of technologies. And soon, perhaps, it'll take much less time to go through the security check at the airports, just to mention one. But also the way that we will interact with hotels, the way that we will interact with cruise liners and the banks, it's all gonna change. So it's a very interesting topic, and I think you'd be pleased to listen. So before I go any further, if you're new to the channel, it is an honor and privilege to have you here. If you're coming back, thank you so much. So TrueFires.ai is a company that does recognitions of the face of people. And then it uses it to sell to other companies the ability to develop certain special services. Today, I want to just tell you three things, my three takeaways from the interview. The very first one is about the story of this company. It's a very interesting story. It's a typical situation where two former school dudes find themselves in a place in the world, they come up with an idea, they get obsessed about that idea, and spend a number of years researching and trying it out. But not only that, at the point they start to launch this company, and they launch it as a device company, basically a company that is selling a camera for getting you on board or getting you inside your home, basically. So something that eliminates the doorbell. So they spend a number of years doing that, and then they pivot the company into a different direction until they reach today, where they have customers all over the place, and they're growing, and they have a new product in place, basically. So very interesting entrepreneurial story that I think you should listen in full. The second point that was interesting to mention about the interview is the stage of the face recognition technology. Where are we at? Is it working? Is it not working? So what emerged is that for applications where a person needs to be identified, applications where basically it's an identification against some kind of database that already exists, the technology is advanced enough to support security cases, to support banking cases, to support access to infrastructure. So it's a pretty advanced and pretty reliable technology from the standpoint of being used on specific use cases. The third thing to remember about this interview, it's really how it's being used. Like, when we look into recognize people's face, our mind automatically goes into public security issues, police, secret services. Recently, there was like lots of noise that was made in the press because of China supposed utilization of the under 60 million scammers to, identify and track behavior of his own citizens. So lots of discussion around how this technology is being used. But then when we look at the company like trueface.ai, we learn about things that are really useful to human beings. So for example, we found out that technology is being used to grant access to cruise liners. So when you board the ship, basically to go to the Caribbean islands, now you can basically spend less time because you get recognized automatically. Another use, more generally in the hospitality industry, is that you get access to things without maybe having to go to the check-in. So that's in an hotel, for example, you can get access to your room without going to the check-in. But more so, you can also get some kind of a special and premium services because somebody recognizes your face. And of course, then there are a bunch of other situations where the technology is used. Like, for example, if you are, you're buying something online, not only you give the credit card, but now they can verify if you are the right person. So not only you have to have the security code on the credit card, but also your face has to match. Same thing in the bank. If you go to the ATM and try to get the money out of your ATM, your face can be recognized, and that's one way for protecting yourself from fraud. And a variety of other things that we discussed in this interview that I think are very interesting, and altogether summarize with saying that there is actually a lot to gain for people like you and me from the applications of these technologies. And I think the interview was very interesting, and if you have an interest to watch all of it, and I think you should, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, because that's the way that you get the the notification when we release the interview. If you have questions about this interview, please comment on the video below, or if you want additional content or have suggestion about additional content, it is in your benefit to comment on the video, and we will try to cater to your needs. For the time being, thank you so much, and we wish you a fantastic day. Bye-bye.